there. Welcome back to another episode of Sutton Reactions. I am your host, Sutton Def. It is a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday, January the 20th morning. January's flying by, isn't it? Flying by. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be listening to this. This is a brand new episode, number 20 of Sudden Reactions. Good morning, Ashley, in the live chat. Herb, what's going on in the live chat? Says, I got something to say about Mike Todd, but I haven't seen his response to Druski, so I'll wait. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We got a lot. We got a jam-packed episode, a juicy and jam-packed episode of Sudden Reactions today. So, again, shout out to everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. I see Asmodeus in the chat. What up, brother? Appreciate you for pulling up. Big episode, big episode. Okay. Make sure you guys like this video before we get into anything. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new. This is a daily show that we do Tuesday through Friday, Tuesdays through Fridays, sometime in the AM. Haven't necessarily nailed down a good time yet. I'm still kind of experimenting with it. So for that reason, what I'm going to need you to do is after you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you will not miss whenever I am live here streaming on this channel. Again, we got a lot to get into, but I want to start with some really quick, as I normally would, NFL news. Yesterday, I heard that Eric Bieniemy was being rehired for that matter, for the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator position. And it got me thinking, I was like, the Chiefs really must want that old thing back. The Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid days, like it was bombs over Baghdad, it seemed like, with that offense. And I think they're trying to get that back in a way, but they're going to need more weapons than what they currently have. Now, I don't know what current draft pick the Kansas City Chiefs have. As a matter of fact, let me look that up. Kansas City Chiefs draft pick. Let's see. 2026. Because I would assume that they have a pretty decent pick. Okay, so they hold the 9th overall pick in the 2026 draft. They're going to get a shot to really kind of, honestly, when you think about it, the Chiefs low-key needed a season like they just had, where they take a little step back. They've won a couple of Super Bowls, lost the last one, take a little step back. Mahomes will be ready by next season, but you get a good draft pick. You have options to work with the cap space in the offseason to bring in free agents. The Chiefs will not miss the playoffs again, is basically what I'm saying. I think that they're going to go back to, they're probably going to draft a speedy receiver to complement Rashee Rice, or maybe even the next tight end, because Travis Kelce, of course, is on his way out. I think he said that he wants to play another year as long as his body feels good throughout the offseason, and going into next season, he will go ahead and suit up. But in case not, I think that they could be looking to draft some more offensive talent. And with the number 9th pick, they have an opportunity to do so. So I say all that to say, Buffalo Bills, you done fucked up. You had your chance. They had their chance, right? They had their chance. However, they just couldn't pull through. Couldn't pull through. Lost to the Broncos, who now don't even have their quarterback, but lost to the Broncos in the divisional round. Josh Allen, 4 turnovers. And then you got Shannon Sharp going on nightcap, right? Somehow, some way, being triggered by Lamar Jackson comments in his chat when Lamar Jackson hasn't even played football in about a month. Finds a way to bring up Lamar Jackson's shortcomings from 2019, his first season as a starter, which, oh, by the way, was also his MVP year, and brought up turnovers that he had in the 2019 playoff loss against the Titans. And is comparing that to Josh Allen's 4 turnovers. Like, what? It's the narratives that have come out this weekend. And by the way, I mean, I called out Shannon Sharp on this. I called him out. I said, Josh Allen literally just turned the football over 4 times in a playoff loss, and you still found a way to bring up Lamar Jackson. And Shannon Sharp responded to me on Twitter, and he said something like, Shannon Sharp, he tweets like an unk, like the unk he is. What did he say to me? He said, He said we're debating two quarterbacks who don't have a Super Bowl. Now, which one turns the ball over more? And I'm just like, I don't really get your question. I don't really get your point here, that you're trying to make. Maybe he's trying to say, maybe he was trying to tell me that Lamar Jackson turns the ball over more in the postseason than Josh Allen. I was like, okay, true. But I mean, if you're going to compare the two, they both still don't have a Super Bowl. And as of right now, Lamar Jackson should not be in anybody's mouth, nor should Patrick Mahomes, nor should Joe Burrow. Only quarterbacks we should be talking about right now and referencing is Josh Allen, right? Well, I guess not anymore since he's at home. But as of a couple of days ago, Josh Allen, Bo Nix, Drake May, and CJ Stroud. Those are the only guys we need to be talking about. No need. There's absolutely no need to bring up Lamar Jackson's name. No need. Asmodia says, I don't think the Chiefs go speedy again. They already went there. I disagree. Again, I think they want that old thing back. I mean, I didn't think that they would go Eric Bieniemy ever again, but obviously they did, right? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay. So, like I said, we're going to keep the football talk short today because we got a lot to get into on this episode of the show. Again, guys, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel as well, whether you're watching on the Sutton Reactions channel or the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. I am monitoring both chats. Let me see. 86 Ghosts. What's going on, 86 Ghosts? Appreciate you for coming through, man. Appreciate that. The main chat, what I'll say, is on the Sutton Reactions YouTube channel, which is actually linked in the description. So if you go over there, subscribe, that's where you're going to be able to chop it up with the main chat. C Spice, what's going on, C Spice? C Spice, same for you. Go down to the description, click on the link in the description, come on over to the Sutton Reactions channel and join the party. Join the party. Join the party. Ashley says, back to the grind. The holidays go by so fast. Yeah, I know. Are you guys still keeping up with your New Year's resolutions? 20 days in. They say that it normally takes 14 days for people to fall off of their New Year's resolutions. Are you guys sticking to yours? Let me know. 86 Ghost. There he is. What's going on, Ghost? What up? Herb says, nope, not sticking to mine, but he says he's kidding. That's good. Stay locked in, y'all. Stay locked in. We're only 20 days in. They say it takes 28 days to form a habit. If you're still on your New Year's resolutions, you got 8 days left before your brain mentally locks into what you've been doing. I've been journaling lately. That's dope. Asmodia says, I can't fall off if I didn't have any. Fair too. Fair point. Fair point. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Let's get into some reactions. Okay. So, episode 20 of Sutton Reactions. You guys know what is on the slate today based off of what's in the title. But of course, there's always some little nuggets in there that I don't include in the title, mainly because it won't fit in the title. But we got a lot of stuff to get into. We got some serious topics. We got some messy topics. We got some of our liminal horror, which we're going to go ahead and tackle first as normal. But appreciate y'all again for coming through. Again, make sure you like the video before we get into anything else. Without any further ado, let's get into some liminal horror, guys. Let's get into some liminal horror, some would you rather, right? Buckle up, strap in. You got to pick a door. You guys know how this goes. You got to pick a door, left or right. You got to make your pick before we actually spin the video. That way, we can know who was right, who was wrong, or whatever, right? So let's start with this one.
Pick a door. The door you choose will determine your fate for the next 48 hours.
All right. You guys know the drill. We going left or we going right? We going left or we going right? Take your picks now. Lock in your votes. You can't flip-flop either. No flip-flopping. See what y'all saying. And I know y'all think I'm cursed with my answers. So I'm not answering until everybody else does. Let me see. Let's see. All right, let's tally it up here. Got one for left, one for right, two for left. Okay, 2 and 2, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. Okay, 3 and 5. So I'm seeing 5 blue, 3 red. I'm seeing 5 blue, 3 red. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I'm seeing 5 blue, about 3 reds. Okay. I'm gonna go with the blue. I'm gonna go with blue on this one. Don't hate me, but I'm gonna go with blue on this one. I know y'all think I'm cursed, but we gonna see. We gonna see. Let's find out. Who wins, who loses, who dies, who survives. Let's see. Again, you got to stay here for 48 hours. Red door. Let's see what y'all got.
Hours. Door 1. The inevitable fall. You're on one of many scattered pieces of carpet floating in space. Other than the carpet, there is nothing around for miles, other than emptiness. However, these pieces of carpet are not normal. The carpet is living and has a lifespan of 10 minutes before it dies and disappears.
Oh, yeah. Y'all in for it. Y'all in for it. Left side, y'all in for it. I don't know if y'all heard that, but you are floating in space on nothing but patches of carpet. And these carpets dissolve every 10 minutes.
If this happens while you are on top of it, you will fall to your death. If you
Yup.
ever see a black figure in the distance waiting on a piece of carpet,
Y'all
move away
cooked.
from the area quickly. It's
Y'all
getting
are cooked.
closer. Door.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what blue door holds yet. But everybody who picked red, you might be starting this one off 0 and 1. You might be starting this challenge off 0 and 1 if you picked red. We don't know what blue has yet. But if we took stock of what the red door had behind it, so anybody who picked left or red, you are on floating carpets for 48 hours in the middle of space, and you cannot stay on any one carpet for more than 10 minutes, or else it will dissolve and you will fall to your death. And there's a black scary creature out in the distance who's following you. So you can't sleep and you're being followed by an entity. Yeah, y'all lost. Y'all are cooked. Y'all are cooked. But let's see what blue door has. It can't be any worse than that.
Door 2. Cabin in the woods. A small cabin surrounded by a perpetually dark
Hold on now.
The bed is cozy, and every once in a while, a grilled cheese and tomato soup will appear on the table. There's also a TV that plays old cartoons on it.
Yes, sir.
And alcohol on the shelf.
Oh, yep. So you're telling me I get a comfy bed, I get cartoons, I get food that just appears, and I get a full bar? Shit.
Not look out the window. It's not safe outside.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute.
Stay inside, and you will live.
Oh, wait. If I stay inside, I live? Oh, yeah, we good.
You have no reason to leave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a W. That's a W for Team Blue. Team Blue, where we at? Team Blue, where we at? Right door, where we at? Where we at? ISO, Moggs, 86 Ghost. Yes, sir. That's a W. That's a W for us. And see, they got this scary ass deer right here, but and that is scary. That motherfucker standing up on his hind legs, peering through the window at you. That is pretty creepy. But as long as I don't go outside, should I put up a curtain? I'll find a way to put up a curtain or something. Shit, yeah. F them windows. What you talking about? Team Blue. ISO says I'm a straight Walmart delivery my shit. Shoot, I'm not gonna have to do nothing. I'm not gonna have to do nothing if grilled cheeses and meals just appear on my nightstand. I'm gonna be straight. Then it's a full bar too. Somebody said replace the alcohol with water. I'm sure there's water behind that bar too. But that liquor gonna make that 48 hours go by way faster. Way faster. Shit, I might be asleep half the time. But yeah, W for Team Blue on that one. W for Team Blue. If you were Team Red or left door, you're 0 and 1. You're 0 and 1. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Pick a door. Keep in mind that you cannot change your mind once you make your selection. The door that you pick will determine where you will stay for the next 48 hours.
All right. All right. These gonna get harder too. Which one we going? Left door, right door, red or blue? Let me know. Asmodeus says red. Okay. Ashley says, how you know I can't survive space? Well, I know you can't survive lack of sleep. Sleep deprivation can definitely kill you, right? So you're not gonna be able. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, Ashley. Let me see. So I see a bunch for red. 1 for red, 2 for red, 3 for red, 4 for red, 5 for red. Okay. 5 for red. I see only 1 for blue so far. 5 for red, only 1 for blue. Okay, so y'all are heavy on the red door. Heavy on the red door. As Modi says he stayed up 72 hours before. I'm good. What were you doing that you had to stay up 72 hours, brother? That's what I want to know. All right, all right. Let me see. Wait, Moggs, did you put yours in? Let me see. 1 for red, 2 for red, 3 for red, 4 for red, 5 for red, only 1 for blue. What's going on, Zeke? What up, Zeke? Make sure y'all like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Doing a little liminal horror challenge right here. You got to pick the right door to survive. Pick the right door to survive. All right. So majority says red. I am going to go with the majority on this one. I'm also going to pick red. I feel like I could be wrong here. Could be in the wrong here. But let's see. Let's see. Let's see what the red door has. Most of us pick red, so here's our fate.
You have 5 seconds
Zeke says he's going blue. Gotcha, Zeke.
to make and
5 for red, 2
finalize
for
your
blue.
decision.
5 for red, 2 for blue. Here we go.
Door 1. The Gallery of Forgotten Faces.
Uh-oh.
This is a pitch black, infinite hall where the only walls are floating, glowing frames suspended in midair. The floor feels like cold, wet silk beneath your feet. The only sound is a collective, low-volume whispering of your own name coming from the thousands of frames surrounding you. Within the gallery, there is a spindly creature known as the Memory Thief. It has a giant, empty camera lens for a head. It photographs your memories to feed itself, causing you to physically and mentally fade. You must carry a physical Polaroid of yourself at all times. If the thief flashes its lens at you, you must immediately look at the photo and recite your full name 3 times. 6 seconds to make and finalize your decision.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back. Let me go back.
It has a giant, empty camera lens for a head. It photographs your memories to feed itself, causing you to physically and mentally fade. You must carry a physical Polaroid of yourself at all times. If the thief flashes its lens at you, you must immediately look at the photo and recite your full name 3 times. If you forget your name or lose the photo, your face will appear in a blank frame and you will become a permanent part of the gallery.
Bro. Oh my gosh. We might be cooked. Team Red. I know most of us pick red. We might be done for. Chris, what's going on, Chris? What up? World class, I saw you in the chat on PRP. Come on over to Sutton Reactions. Click the link in the description. Come on over to Sutton Reactions, y'all. If you're watching on PRP, click the link in the description, subscribe to Sutton Reactions, and join the live chat here. Of course, we will be live on PRP later today talking our Ravens. But listen, guys, this one is a mind fuck. Like, you're telling me that I'm in a gallery of art frames, right? And I'll play it again, but I'll leave the sound off. of picture frames, and there's like a dweller somewhere in here that wants to capture my memories, and I have to make sure that when he flashes me in the face, I'm holding a Polaroid of a selfie, and I have to look into it and say my name 3 times. This sounds exhausting. Like, I would not be able to stay here for 48 hours. It just doesn't sound. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. I think we're cooked, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what the blue door has, but somebody who wants to steal my memory, like a monster that wants to steal your memories and is constantly after you to do so by flashing his camera face in your face. And if you don't look at this Polaroid quick enough and say your name 3 times, you're gonna be part of a permanent art gallery. So you die, basically. Ashley says, so the red door is always bad. I don't know. Let's just see what blue has to offer. Only one person picked blue. I think it was ISO.
Door 2, the Cinema of Echoes. This is a 1940s style movie theater where the seats are plush velvet, but the movie on the screen is a 48-hour loop of your most painful or embarrassing memories. The theater is freezing cold, and the air smells like burnt popcorn and old film reel. The audience consists of static-filled silhouettes that laugh at exactly the wrong moments. There is a tall shadow known as the projectionist. He has a burning, spinning film reel for a head. He seeks to edit your life by physically splicing your heart into the film. Never look at the screen for more than 10 seconds at a time, or you will be pulled into the footage. If the projectionist walks down your aisle, you must join the silhouettes and laugh as loud as possible. If he believes you are enjoying the show, he will move past you to the next victim.
Okay. So we got some competition. I still think I would prefer the blue door. I know I picked red. And let me explain the blue door just one more time here. Let me actually I'll play it again like I did with the last one and I'll mute it. But this one actually is damn near just as bad as the red door. Because you have to sit in this movie theater with basically just a film for 48 hours playing of your worst memories in life. And all these ghosts are sitting around you in the seats and they're laughing at all the worst parts. And there's a monster who's running this movie who wants to carve your heart out if he feels like you're not enjoying the movie. So he walks the aisles to make sure that you're laughing at the parts at your most painful memories in life. And when you stop laughing in this 48-hour span, when you stop laughing, he's going to detect you and rip your heart out. That is psychological torture at its finest. Literally, you have to laugh at your own trauma for 48 hours or you die. The moment you stop laughing, you die. The moment you stop acting like you enjoy it, you die. That is torturous. I don't know if I'd rather have the red door because, I mean, with the blue door, all I have to do is just fake laugh. Yes, it will be painful, right? But with the red door, I have to constantly like run and hide, from this monster. And it's completely dark. I have no idea where it's at. And it's just going to pop up on me and flash me in the face. And I just have to have this Polaroid in my hand at all times and be able to look the Polaroid there so I can remember myself so it doesn't steal my memories. And then like cut my head off and put me in a picture frame on a wall. I think I'd rather go with the movie theater. Again, I picked red door, so I'm dead. But I would rather go with the movie theater. What do y'all think? Honestly, we probably both cooked, to be honest. As Modi says, see, the red one ain't so bad, right? I still think that the blue one was worse. Mog said everybody done. Think both are the same, says Zeke. Mog says I sat this round out, I won. You did too, didn't you? I I really think the red door is not that bad compared to this. Y'all tripping. As Modi says, I could not laugh seeing film of people I loved that passes away. That's true. Like, all the trauma that you've ever experienced in life is literally just on a highlight reel for 48 straight hours. That's tough, man. That's tough. But like I take that over imminent death. Am I right? Because with the left door, you're gonna die. Like you're not gonna be able to game this creature who flashes you in the face with a bright ass camera flash. You're not gonna be able to stop that for 48 hours. You're just not. How do you defend that for 48 hours? What defense do you run to defend that type of monster for 48 hours? You just don't have one. All of that trauma, how could anyone survive that? Man, you might come out of it mentally fucked up, but at least you'll come out of it, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all making me feel like I'm tripping on this one. I know I'm not tripping. Like, I've been through a lot of shit in my life. Don't get me wrong. You know, I've had people pass, things like that. And I've had things go on in my life. However, I think that I would take my chances laughing at my own pain as opposed to literally just straight up getting brutally murdered. And all of my memories become just one in a million on a wall of portraits of other victims. I don't. I'm just saying, they're both horrible options. Don't get me wrong, both atrocious options. But if I had to pick the lesser of the two, evils in terms of like what will harm me, I'm probably gonna go with the right door. Let me replay the red door one time. Let me replay the red door because you guys think that one is sweet for some reason. Let me see.
You pick will determine where you will stay for the next 48 hours. You have 5 seconds to make and finalize your decision.
Let's see what the red door has again.
Door 1, the Gallery of Forgotten Faces. This is a pitch black, infinite hall where the only walls are floating, glowing frames suspended in midair. The floor feels like cold, wet silk beneath your feet. The only sound is a collective, low-volume whispering of your own name, coming from the thousands of frames surrounding you.
For 48
Within
hours.
the gallery, there is a spindly creature known as the Memory Thief. It has a giant, empty camera lens for a head. It photographs your memories to feed itself, causing you to physically and mentally fade. You must carry a physical Polaroid of yourself at all times. If the thief flashes its lens at you, you must immediately look at the photo and recite your full name 3 times. If you forget your name or lose the photo, your face will appear in a blank frame and you will become a permanent part of the gallery.
I'm saying, how do you stop that? How do you stop that? I mean, I get it. You can have the Polaroid in your hand at all times. But if this memory thief is constantly going to be on my ass, flashing me in the face, eventually I'm going to be blinded just long enough for him to steal my soul or whatever. Literally, the photos on the wall are helping you. How? Did I miss that? Do they tell you when it's coming or something? Because they just said that the photos on the wall, they whisper your name. Herb says, nah, man, the monster is going to detect how genuine you are with your laughs. It's based off how the monster feels. They're whispering your name. Well, yeah, that's true. They are whispering your name. I don't think that you would necessarily, but that's the thing, though. It says you mentally fade. I guess the more it happens. I don't know. It's a tough one. That's a controversial one for me. I don't know who wins, who lost in my book. You guys are saying that the red is the worst. No, you guys are saying that the blue is the worst one. I think the red is worse. I think red, you're definitely gonna die. But to each his own. We'll leave that one alone. We'll move on to our last liminal horror one. We're already 30 minutes into the episode. Again, if you're enjoying this content, shout out to you. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. This is Sutton Reactions. I'm your host, Sutton Def. We got one more. Lil is in the house. What's going on, Lil? Shout out to you. Mog says, theater man on your ass too, and you can't get caught faking it. You can't get caught faking at your own trauma, but can't even look at the screen for more than 10 seconds. That's true. That's true. Can't even look at the screen for more than 10 seconds. That's rough. That's rough. All right, one more.
Pick a door. The door you choose will determine your fate for the next 48 hours. Door 1.
All right. Where are we going? Last one. Last one for this episode. I got one for red. I got two for red. I'm going to go blue. I'm going to just go blue. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going blue. I'm going to call my shot. Pick how you want. I'm going to go blue, though. So we got one for red. We got two for red. We got three for red. We've got two for blue, including me. All right. Where are we going? Red or blue? Ashley says red. Okay. So we got 4 for red, 2 for blue, including me. Five for red. 5 for red, 3 for blue. Chris says, how has Sutton's luck been today? I'd say I'm 1 for 2. I'd say I'm 1 for 2 so far. I'm 50-50. Yeah. I'm 50-50 so far. I am trying to fight back on number 2 because number 2 is controversial, man. I mean, if you just get in here, spin it back and watch it again, because I'm not going like that, man. Y'all can't tell me that one is just leaps and bounds safer than the other door. Hell no. Hell no. Creepy yo next to the door is reverse psychology. I think that's how it was on the other one, on the first one, I want to say. All right, so let me finish tallying these up real quick. All right. And if you're part of the replay gang, put your answers down below in the comments. I'd appreciate that. So 1 for red, 2 for red, 3 for red, 4 for red, 5 for red. Okay, we got 5 for red on this one. And it looks like we have 1, 2, 3 for blue. All right. 5 for red, 3 for blue. Here we go. Team red door. Let's see what y'all got.
The archives. An endless dark office space with file cabinets stacking to the ceiling. Food isn't difficult to find. There are vending machines scattered throughout. Opening the file cabinets, you'll also be able to find water and the occasional flashlight. You're not alone in this place. There are humanoid creatures roaming. They don't move like a regular human and are very hostile. If you encounter one of these creatures, shine the flashlight on it and back up slowly into another room. It can't move while you look at it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Humanoid creatures who walk towards you slowly. You got one flashlight. It's dark as hell. You got cabinets stacked to the ceiling. And you got to stay in there for 48 hours. I don't know what the blue door has, but so far, I'm liking our odds. Let's see what blue got.
Door 2. Interdimensional cable. You're on a 24/7 alien talk show. The crowd never sleeps, and the neon environment is claustrophobic. Humans are rare here, so everything you do is funny to them. Every sentence you speak will be interrupted by the alien crowd laughing violently at you. There is no apparent threat. As long as you don't offend them, you'll survive here.
Looks like door blue. Blue door. Team blue door. That's a W for us. I mean, that's got to be a W for us. Now, this is creepy. Let me, I'm not going to lie to you. This is creepy. I'm on a talk show with nothing but aliens. I'm the only human there. As soon as I start to talk, they start violently laughing at me. Right? I would feel like I'm gonna get like probed or something like that. Like they're just kind of like grooming me to, like, oh, they're putting me on, they're parading me around, kind of like a zoo animal. I don't know if I would necessarily survive 48 hours. I don't know what necessarily would happen. They said there's no apparent threat, so I got to take the video for what it said. But if I'm putting myself in that scenario, and it says, but you can't offend them, that's true too. But how would they? Because the assumption is that aliens are way more advanced than humans are. And if they're laughing at the things that I'm saying, that means that they would be able to interpret that the things that I'm saying, even though their natural language, of course, is not, any earthly language. But yeah, I don't know. I guess if that was the case, if there was something that they started to laugh at, I would probably just keep saying that. I would just keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it just to make sure I don't say anything, off kilter enough to offend somebody or one of these aliens. But even though, like regardless, Blue Door wins. Blue Door wins. So all y'all Red Door folks, that's another L for y'all. So I'm 2-1 on the day. I'm 2-1 on the day. Let me see. Just say one word at a time. If interrupting offends them, I'm fucked. If you don't laugh with them, then what? I- that's the thing. I think that you can easily just say the same things over and over, right? And it just wouldn't offend them. Like, oh, y'all like this? All right, I'm gonna keep giving y'all that. I'm not gonna say nothing else. Not gonna say nothing else. You said red one. What you talking about? Red one, Asmodeus? No, I mean you want to be in an abandoned office with humanoid creatures who are following you around, and you can't let them catch you, which means you cannot sleep. There's a constant threat. Hell nah. Red Door loses on this one, man. Red Door loses on this one. Come on now. You prefer red? What? And what do you mean is giving objective? Am I missing it? Am I getting my doors mixed up or something? How do y'all prefer red? I don't get it. Zeke says I'm gonna just say hi the whole time. Exactly. Ashley says you can always hide, but when are you gonna sleep? Right? Let's watch it one more time. Let's watch it one more time. All right, because maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something. Let's see.
1. The archives. An endless dark office space with file cabinets stacking to the ceiling. Food isn't difficult to find. There are vending machines scattered throughout.
All right, so you got chips and whatnot. You got vending machines.
Opening the file cabinets, you'll also be able to find
Got water.
and the occasional flashlight. You're not
Flashlight.
alone in this place. There are humanoid creatures roaming.
Yeah, I mean, there's humanoid creatures roaming in this dark office space. You have one flashlight,
Move like a regular human. They're very hostile.
and they're very hostile. Like, what are we talking about? And it's not like there's just one. There's multiple of them.
To encounter one of these creatures, shine the flashlight on it and back up slowly into another room. It can't move while you look at it.
It can't move while you look at it. So what happens when there's one behind you and you're backing away slowly from the first one? Like, what are we talking about? I'm talking about Red Door wins. Did you see the chips flavor? Hold on, let me see.
To find, there are vending machines.
Ooh, Greg flavored chips. Yeah. Shoe flavored chips is crazy. Yeah, no, y'all are tripping. Oh, they can't come towards us while we're looking at it. But Chris, did you hear what I said though? What if you're looking at one and slowly backing away and there's another one behind you, just getting closer to you? You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't look at them all at once. There's multiple of them. I could see if there was just one. If there was just one roaming around and all you had to do was make sure your back was never turned to him, fine. But the fact that there's multiple and they're all very hostile, no, y'all are cooked. Chris said, I'm just scary. No, I'm not scary. I'm just picking the lesser of the two evils here. Would you rather be in the presence of things that want to kill you or things that are curious about you and want to laugh at you? You pick. Herb says, I want to know how they make this. What, the chips or the video? Because the video, I'm pretty sure, is AI. The chips, I don't know. Them humanoids might be busting these humans down and repackaging them as Utz potato chip brands. I don't know. But no, y'all are tripping. Because the second one was not bad at all.
And the neon environment is claustrophobic. Humans are rare here, so everything you do is funny to them. Every sentence you speak will be interrupted by the alien crowd laughing violently at you. There is no apparent threat.
No threat. And all I got to do is not offend them. Come on now. It's easy money. Easy money. Chris is going to fight for this decision here. Nah, I'm not feeling it. No apparent threat, right? So would you take the very, very apparent threat or the threat that seems to be non-existent? Contingent upon not offending some aliens. Come on now. It's a no-brainer. Come on. But I got a question for you guys. That was fun. But I got a question for you guys. Do you guys like seafood boils? Are y'all fans of seafood boils? Me personally, I am. I'm a big fan of crabs. You know, a lot of us are from or maybe around the Maryland area, since a lot of us are Baltimore Ravens fans. So we love crabs, you know, we love seafood, we love shrimp, we love scallops, we love, the corn and potatoes that go inside of seafood boils as well. Chef's kiss, right? Love it. Asmodia says, I'm a fan of seafood altogether. I like ocean bugs. I do too, I guess. But take a look at the seafood boil and let me know what you think. Rate it 1 through 10.
Ready? Everything's out of the way. I don't want to hit anybody. This one might roll, so everyone get ready to catch. Oop, nice stop.
Real quick, does this look good to y'all? Does this look good to y'all? Somebody tell me what's wrong with this video. Please, somebody tell me what's wrong with this video. I can find multiple things. Number one, boom, in the chat. No seasoning. No seasoning at all. Look at that corn. Nothing on it. I think that's lobster in there. Nothing on it. Not a lick of seasoning. Bland AF. And the fact that they're just dumping it all on the table. There ain't no cloth on this table, no paper. This is just bare tabletop. Bare tabletop. I don't know how well they clean that surface. And this just defeats the whole point of the boil. See, I prefer the boil bag, right? Keep all the steam inside. Let it marinate with each other. The steam and the food. This is trash. For all I know, you could have just heated up that big pot, got some steam coming off of it, and then just put this stuff in the microwave, put all the seafood stuff in the microwave, threw it right in the pot, and then came to the table and dumped it on my table. The setting alone told me it wasn't going to be any seasoning. And raw table is crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts. What are we talking about here? Shut them down. Call the health department. And I bet you, how much y'all think this seafood boil costs right here? Because it's a lot of food, low key, high key. It's a lot of food. If I had to guess, this seafood boil right here probably cost a cool $200. Probably more, honestly. Multiple lobsters. I think that's like 1, 2, 3 lobster right there. Some more still, no, that's 4. I say about a couple hundred. Yeah, I agree with Chris. About $200. Because, a lot of that stuff can be market price. And even if it is, it would be more than 200. Because that's a lot of freaking food. But they paid for this with their hard earned money. Look at him recording it with his phone. Boy. I hope he's not on the black side of Facebook. Unk right here. I hope he's not on the black side of Facebook. Because they are going to flame his ass. Yeah. But just wanted to show y'all that. Just a little warm up there, a little teaser. Let's get into a more serious topic here. Let's talk about Mike Todd. Mike Todd is a pastor, a very trendy pastor, a youthful pastor. He's a younger guy. Not exactly sure how old he is, but he has been in the news recently and come under fire for being a little bit too grand in his pastoral style, right? His preaching style and things like that. And last week, as we know, comedian Druski put out a video kind of mocking mega church pastors and how all they want is money and how they grandstand in front of a congregation with their hands out under the guise of, serving God and things like that. And it sparked a lot of controversy and a lot of debate. And I was waiting personally for one of these mega church pastors to come out and really say their piece, right? Give their defense to what Druski said, or basically the message that he was conveying in his skit. Mike Todd came back and he had some things to say on Sunday. Let's take a listen.
If you want to go forward, you cannot avoid, number 2, distraction. You cannot avoid distraction. There was a video that came out this past week with a few 100 million views, and some people were trying to link it to me. And so I watched the video. It was hilarious. It was funny. It was all this stuff. And then people started trying to say different things. And the thing that I was most taken aback by was how much frustration it created in people. Like, I was literally watching people go back and forth with people and denounce people and call people names and do stuff. And I stepped back for a second. I said, oh my gosh. All this was an attack on people's lives of distraction.
Here we go. It's already giving deflection right now. It's already giving deflection. You could tell he was like just spooling up a narrative, just spooling up an angle all week at home. And I'm going to let the rest of the video play, but you could tell he was just thinking of something all week to kind of like, okay, how can I take this attention off of me and spin it into a word?
Do you know how many people didn't spend time with their kids this week? Fighting with somebody they don't know in the comments?
Wait a minute. I know this man did not just say that the video was so controversial that people did not spend time with their kids in favor of interacting with other people online debating about this topic. There's no way.
Do you know how many people watch?
That's a crazy reach.
Watch video after video after video, making decisions about what they wouldn't do and what they will do. And it was a distraction. There were people that did not do what God said to do this week.
And you know what's ironic about this message that he's disseminating right here to this congregation of people in his church. He's trying to preach that, the world is trying to distract you. The devil is trying to distract you by, putting out these type of videos that Druski put out. And you have to stay focused as a Christian. However, what I found extremely ironic about this video is that Mike Todd, who typically shows up to church in a little bit more than what you would call his Sunday best, rocking chains, rocking Letterman jackets, you know what I mean? Just designer clothing, things like that. All worldly things that in the real world distract us and take us away from God, quite frankly. But in this sermon, for some reason, he decided to dress down. For some reason, he decided to dress more like a man of the people. See, when I was growing up, pastors looked like men and women of the people. They didn't wear distracting clothing, right? They didn't wear anything flashy. They weren't trying to impress the congregation. They weren't bringing worldly things like designer clothes into the house of God. They just weren't. I couldn't tell you the brand name of any suit or any, any type of pastor clothing that I've seen a preacher wear. I couldn't tell you the brand. But when I see people like Mike Todd walk on stage, and it's not just him, he's just an example. But when I see other preachers walk on stage like, Louis Vuitton and all these other designer brands and stuff like that, it gives like, this is just worldly shit. You're bringing that into the church, and it pisses me off because it really comes off as disingenuous. It really comes off as just kind of missing the point of what everybody is there for. Nobody's there to look at your outfit. Nobody's there to think about, oh, that's a really nice Louis Vuitton piece. Let me go on my phone right now and see if that piece is still available or let me see if I can go grab. You're distracting people from the word yourself, Mike Todd. That's my problem with him, but I'll let him keep talking.
Because they needed to be in the know of what was happening in culture.
I know he did not. I mean, that just proves my point. They needed to be in the know what was happening in culture. You wear things on your back, clothes on your back, that let people know, that convey the message that I am aware what's going on in culture. I am the culture. But again, in this one, he's conveniently dressed down. That conviction was whooping his ass.
And you thought it was some attack on the church. No, it was attack on your focus. How you feeling, Pastor Mike? I don't even know really what happened. Because I've been off of social media. I had a few people tell me what was going on. I was like, that's crazy. I don't even got a Rolls Royce. What? I didn't know. Like people AIing pictures and doing stuff. I said, I don't remember being that big. I was big, but I don't remember being that big. But you know what I'm saying? Like that was.
Was that a shot at Druski? Hold on, let me spin that back. Let me make sure I heard that correctly because I don't want to misquote this guy.
I didn't know. I don't even know really what happened. Because I've been off of social media. I had a few people tell me what was going on. I was like, that's crazy. I don't even got a Rolls Royce. What? I didn't know. Like people AIing pictures and doing stuff. I said, I don't remember being that big.
That was a shot. That was a shot at Druski. Because I guess he was saying people were AIing pictures of him, I guess, on Druski's body during that skit. And he's like, I don't remember being that big. That's a shot. That's a shot. From a pastor of a church. I've always thought of pastors and preachers to be instruments and reflections of the word. Nothing in the word that I've ever heard before in my life conveys the petty nature and catty nature and behavior of which Mike Todd is displaying here in this video. Nothing. And I've known about Mike Todd for a long time. A long time. And I've never liked him for that reason. It felt like there was something else going on. It felt like it was just too commercial watching him. Doesn't feel like God.
I was big, but I don't remember being that big. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of the vibe. But the reason I couldn't get distracted is because I'm building something. The reason that I cannot be moved off of my post because what God has called me to, representing God to the lost and found for transformation in Christ, that's what I'm supposed to do. And so somebody's obsessed with what somebody made that wasn't even directly pointed at me, but it distracted them from what God told them to do. The enemy is into releasing weapons of mass distraction. Mass distraction. And the thing you cannot avoid if you're on this Christian journey is distraction. They're coming. She might be walking in stilettos, pumps, in the club. Some of y'all ain't been saved long. And I love my church.
See, and that's the thing. That's another thing. He tries to be a little bit too relatable to the pop culture, right? Like he's trying to denounce pop culture and say like, oh, it's a distraction. The enemy is releasing mass weapons of distraction. You can't pay attention to pop culture like that. But he literally is a caricature of it himself while he's on stage preaching. He does callbacks to pop culture all the time to relate to his audience. They love it. They eat it up. But yet he's condemning what Druski did. Again, walking contradiction, I think is nasty. Very, very nasty. 86 Ghost says there's a megachurch pastor in PG County. Hey, that's where I grew up. But he was in regular clothes and he preaches like he actually cares. Yeah, not all megachurches are bad, guys. I mean, I know megachurches are huge. They, I feel like the bigger the church is, the more money it needs to be fed. And I get that. You got to raise more money. Cool. But it's the dry begging. And it's also not just that. It's placing people's love for God and saying your love for God is contingent upon or dependent upon how much money you give to the church. And I feel like that's wrong. Because it flies in the face of come one, come all, that message. A lot of mega churches will look at you funny if you show up every week and don't donate any money. I've seen it. So, but that's really good though, that there are mega churches out there who are still doing things the right way. Mark says y'all ain't been saved very long, but you remember the song though. Hell, I forgot about that song. Yeah, me too. Me too. But that's the thing. That's the thing that he does though. He tries to really. He has a youthful audience. He does. So like, I think it's like millennials and maybe some Gen Z. They really like Mike Todd because he's a little bit relatable. He brings worldly stuff into the church, and that's what Druski was making fun of in the video. And again, a hit dog is gonna holler every time. That's what it was. That's basically what we're seeing here. But God bless, right? God bless. That's Mike Todd, though. That's Mike Todd. Let's move on. What else we got? Okay, so I found this interesting here. I want to talk about this. So I don't think that we give enough credit to educators enough in this country. I don't think that we pay them enough. I don't think that they are respected enough, not nearly enough, because of the things that they have to go through in basically raising some of our kids. Here's an example of behavioral issues in a Chicago, Illinois school.
Well, I'd like to see you come up here and do one of these problems.
Shut the fuck up talking to me, Mr. Johnson, before I come knock the motherfucking glasses off your face. And that's on my dick or my head.
Didn't I tell you earlier today? I said,
Shut the fuck up talking to me!
Markel, I said I do not talk to you that way, and I would appreciate it if you did not talk
Shut
to
the
me
fuck
that
up
way.
talking to me!
I do not curse at you. Have I ever
Look at the
cursed
patience
at you?
from this man.
Yes!
I have never cursed at you.
Yes, you have!
You know that's not true.
I bet I can put up some problems next you won't even know, Mr. Johnson.
You probably could.
Exactly.
Come on, put some problems on the board.
Fuck that.
I tell you.
Fuck you, fuck you,
Give you
fuck
another.
you, fuck you. Oh, that's my
Get away from your computer.
My tray.
Shut the fuck up.
Take the coat off.
That's why you don't know how to do the problem.
Take the coat off. Take the coat off.
These kids are so very rebellious, but it's so much deeper than just bad behavior. I think it's clear and obvious. It's so much deeper than just, okay, these are bad kids, right? Because I don't think that. I think that these kids are literally just a product of their environment, and you can hear some of the pain and frustration in their voice. These aren't bad kids. These aren't bad kids. And this is why I say we need to respect educators a whole lot more, because this is going on and not only just Chicago, Illinois, but across the country. Across the country. And it's really sad. It's honestly really, really sad that you have these kids who grow up in some of these hoods where, at home they live a chaotic lifestyle and they bring that into school. Right. And they just don't know how to, I guess you could say, really be receptive of getting an education when they have no safety or stability in their home life. How is it even possible to sit in school for 6 hours a day when you know your home life is fucked?
Coat off. Take the coat off. I'm asking. You will get it at the end of the day. Take the coat off. Take the coat off. I'm asking you to take the coat off. One more time, Markel.
And really quick, this is why fathers are needed in the home. This is why fathers are needed in the home. I don't know all these little boy situations, but I can guarantee you this. No young boy with an active father in his household is going to be disrespecting authority like this. You can tell this kid, he's getting up to take off his jacket now, but he was struggling so hard with following authority and respecting authority here from this teacher. And again, you could tell he was just trying to mentally process, okay, how am I supposed to do this? Do I lash out here? Like I've seen so many people do at home and in my neighborhood, or do I actually listen to what this guy is telling me? These kids, the problem is they are raised, they have to grow up so much faster. They have to grow up so much faster than a lot of other kids. And you just don't understand what that does to a child's brain who's growing up and wants to be vulnerable, wants to be a kid, wants to be smiling and laughing and playing games. But they have to be on their guard at all times. They have to be hard up 24/7. Head on a swivel 24/7. Everything is a threat. It's sad.
You gonna get it, okay? You gonna get it. You gonna get it. You gonna get it. Don't you gonna get it?
Face up here.
No, hell no. You ain't. If you want to.
I want you over the thing.
You ain't going out the room.
Bird, have a seat.
Break it. Go on, break it. Go on, break it.
Bird.
Go on, break it.
You got 5, 10, 15, 20. You got like 45 minutes. Have a seat.
Let me out.
I'm not. You don't leave this alone. Stop the door.
No.
You break that, you're really going to jail.
I got so much respect for this teacher here. You can tell they brought him in. He's probably like the PE coach or something like that. But they brought him in to be kind of like the disciplinarian in this scenario. Like, don't back down to the kids. You know, obviously don't put your hands on them. And you notice how he's doing all of this without putting his hands on somebody else's child. This is an absolute master class on how you handle a situation like this. You know, a master class.
Move, get away from me.
No.
Get away from me.
No.
Montreal, if I change that number, then you know what to do next time. Montreal, do you know what to do this time? Here, you want to come up here and work it? I said, all we do is substitute values.
Again, not bad kids. They're just kids in bad situations. Kids in bad situations that are not allowed to be kids. These are kids who don't go home to a stable lifestyle. You know, they don't go home to a loving family. They don't go home to consistent home-cooked meals or just meals in general. We don't even know what this kid might have ate today or if he ate today. It's sad, man. It really beats me up. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It really beats me up when I see kids like this, or when I see situations like this. And it really makes me think about, like, okay, what are the solutions? And I think that the solutions start with men, to be honest with you. I mean, I know nobody else wants to be accountable for nobody else's kid. I get that. However, I think that that's the only way to right the ship for a lot of these young boys. And I'm glad that they have older men here in the school system that might be the only type of father figure in their life. I'm glad that they have them to kind of direct them, because you see, eventually they respect the authority. Eventually they do. Once they realize that this guy's not going to back down from them and not going to disrespect them, they cool down eventually. But there's just so much pain and frustration stewing in these young boys' minds, in these young boys' hearts. They need somebody during school, after school. It's not these kids' fault that some of them have bad parents. It's not their fault. Mog says, stop having sex if you're not ready to be a parent. This is true. This is true. But as Modi says, it doesn't start with men, it starts with the parents. Yeah, but I would say that it starts with men because men need to be in the homes more often. I believe that. I believe men need to be in the homes supporting their kids more often. I just do. I just do. And Mog said before, stop having sex if you're not ready to be a parent. While that may be cool, guess what? People still have sex. Babies still come out. And once they're here, they're here. You know, we have to do something. We have to do something. There's kids that are already here on this earth that are misguided. And then my question is, what do we do with them? Do we just let them go by the wayside? Like boys like in this video, do we just let them go by the wayside, just figure it out on their own? Everybody else has to. Or can we get programs in place to get father figures for these boys, or girls without mothers, get them mother figures and things like that, or even vice versa? I think some money should go to that. Some sort of mentorship fund that can be dispersed in communities, low earning communities, like less privileged communities, things like that, of all races, not just Chicago, Illinois. But it's clear and obvious that these boys are lacking, strong father figures in their life. And that's the only reason why I say it starts with men. It's the only reason. Women need to be mothers too. Absolutely. Ashley says children need to be around positive social interactions and have activities and hobbies to do. Yeah, because you guys know the phrase. I mean, an idle mind is the devil's playground. That's why, after school activities, things like that are so important. But a lot of time funding is cut for a lot of those opportunities and they go away for a lot of those programs and activities and they end up, disbanding. And you have these kids who after school, now instead of basketball practice or whatever, band practice, whatever, they're on the block. Or a lot of kids nowadays will just go home, get on the game. But it's just about the home life. And this is where it really comes down to the parents, because if you're not fostering a safe environment for your child and you have them in constant survival mode, this is the behavior you're going to get. This is the behavior you're going to get. If mom and dad are arguing all the time, right? If you don't see any positive examples of love or any positive examples of contributing members to society because of your environment, that is going to mold your thought process as a child. I mean, a child's brain is literally like a stick of gum. You can mold it into whatever you want it to. It can be molded into whatever. It's a tough subject, guys. Void says, I don't know. I grew up in an we all have struggles, don't make it somebody else's problem household. So seeing this makes me annoyed more than anything. Easy to understand, hard to feel bad. Hmm. 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 Let me let you guys in on a little bit of my history. So I grew up in a pretty bad area of Prince George's County, PG County in Maryland, until I was about 10 years old. I lived in the hood. And the products of that environment, from what I saw growing up, were less than desirable. There were a lot of drug dealers. There were a lot of gang members. I remember a lot of shootings, muggings. Hell, I mean, I remember walking home from school at times, and I was one of the kids who would let myself in the house. And we lived in a condo. And I remember a couple times I would come home and like my front door would be wide open, nobody's home, but like we had just gotten robbed. Right? It was like that type of area. And at the time, I didn't really realize like why certain areas had certain like struggles like that. But then I moved to the suburbs. My parents moved me and my little brother out of the hood into the suburbs, and I grew up there. And that's where I kind of like was able to bridge the gap between those two lifestyles. Right? Growing up in a chaotic environment or like a chaotic neighborhood, not necessarily the household itself. My household has always been pretty good. But the neighborhoods that I've grown up in, I've seen other people, other little boys like this. But when I moved to the suburbs, like I said, I was able to kind of bridge the gap in between like this and that. And basically what I'm saying here is there's nuance to every single situation. And I don't think it's as black and white. Void is just saying like, we all got struggles, not my problem. I don't necessarily think it's that black and white just because of the history, number one, of this country. And number two, I think we do owe it to each other to lift one another up. I think we do. There's enough people of privilege in this world where if effort is put together, we can pull up our brothers and sisters, no matter what they look like, and no matter what that process may look like. We just don't want to do it because a lot of us in this country, we play for teams, right? I don't think it has anything to do because, like, from a humanity standpoint, if you can spare it, if you can spare the time, if you can spare a little bit of money or whatever, why not put that towards helping something like this, helping out underserved communities and things like that? This is why things like community service is so important. And speaking about the church, which we talked about earlier, I love when churches have like community service programs where you can go out with the church into the neighborhoods, underserved communities, things like that. You serve food, right? You talk to kids, things like that. It's very important. We need more programs like that. We again, at the end of the day, we need more positive influences. Because right now, children are being raised by either one of two things. A lot of these children, either bad parents in chaotic environments, or they're just simply being raised by whatever the algorithm is telling them. I think both are bad. Both are bad. So we got to do something. Mog says, same here. Went from Walbrook Junction in Baltimore City to Eldersburg, Sykesville, and Carroll County. Found out that all cultures are/ got their own wicked shit going on. That's true. That's true. That is true. Heavy topic, guys. Heavy topic. Everybody needs to do better, but I just hate seeing this for our children. I hate seeing this for our children because again, these are human beings who haven't even really had a fair chance at life yet, and they're already tortured with pain. That's sad to me. That's sad to me, and I think something needs to be done about it because people aren't going to stop having babies. They're just not. Sex feels too good. So we'll move on. All right. Let's lighten the mood here. Let's lighten the mood. That was heavy. That was a heavy topic. This is a real convo, and I appreciate this. Yeah, I mean, I don't want this to be a totally. I want us to have range here on this show, right? I want us to have range. That's why sometimes we'll dive into some serious topics. Sometimes we'll deal with some silly topics. We'll do some fun topics. We have range here on Sudden Reactions. And if you guys appreciate that, I appreciate you because that is the type of content I'm trying to, release. It is. I mean, I love this because I have all these thoughts that are just trapped in my mind all day. And I would love to bounce my ideas off of a wall with you guys' ideas. So if that sounds cool to you guys, and you guys are enjoying this and you haven't already subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Again, if you're new here, my name is Sutton Def, and you're watching Sutton Reactions. Like the video too. By the way, if you're watching over on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel, make sure you click the link in the description of the video you're watching and come on over to the Sudden Reactions channel where you can join our live stream, our on-stream live stream. Asmodeus still talking about them lines, man. And you're right. Asmodeus, I'm working on it. Just for you. I promise you, I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm being experimental still with this show, but I'm working on it, man. I appreciate you. All right, so let's move on. What else do we have here? Let's talk about this. And we're not done with the serious topics, by the way. So if you enjoy those nuanced type conversations, stick around because we still got another one. But for now, let's take a look at this one. There was a woman who was in a grocery store, right, with her husband. And she is, well, let me know how you guys feel about this. If you were a man in this situation, what would you do? And if you're a woman watching this, what would you do in this situation? Let's take a listen to this woman's story.
Y'all, I'm in Kroger, and you would not believe the audacity some people have. Me and my husband are in the shopping. My husband, the baby. Mr. Baby, the baby. We in Kroger shopping. We on the aisle now. I'm looking at stuff, and this woman is with another woman, and she's like, "Sir, excuse me, sir. Can you reach this off the top shelf for me? We're short." I look at them. I look at him. He look at me. He said, "Boo." The fact that he knew he needed permission to help these people, and the fact that they thought they could just ask him and he was gonna move for them. The audacity. Ain't it right, boo? That done tickled my soul.
So this woman was in a grocery store with her husband, walking up and down the aisles, and two women walked up to him and were trying to reach something on the top shelf. So they asked him if he could grab something off the top shelf for them. And he looked over to his wife for permission to do so. And again, the question is, if you're a man in this situation, do you feel like you have to turn and ask your wife to help out a fellow human reach something that they cannot reach? Is it disrespectful to do that with your wife right there? Is it disrespectful to do that with your wife right there without asking her first? That's what I want to know. And women watching this, would you want your husband to ask you permission to help another woman reach something off of the top shelf? I don't know why I found this interesting. It's kind of messy. Again, we're kind of into the mess here. Herb says insecure projection or controlling. You shouldn't have to, but I understand why. So Stretch, are you saying you would do it? You shouldn't. You're saying you shouldn't have to, but you understand why. I agree. I agree. I think it's really like it's a territorial thing. I think with women, it's like a subconscious, almost like, just like a natural, almost animalistic thing in terms of like resource guarding and protection. Like, how dare you ask my mate to go and acquire resources for you? Think about it like this. If there was I don't know, a pride of lions in the forest, walking around in the forest, and there was the lion, and then there was the lioness, and they're walking around, and they come across a female lion who's trying to get something out of the tree, but she can't get something out. She can't get it out of the tree, and she signals to the lion in the pack, "Hey, can you grab that for me?" The lioness of the pride would not like it very much if the pride of her pack, the main lion, went and helped out another lioness to get resources. I just don't think she'd be going for that. She'd probably whoop the man's ass. And I think that, like, that's kind of what's going on here, right? That's kind of what's going on here. And that's why I found it so interesting, because, like, maybe her biology is telling her that she has a point. I don't know. Interesting stuff. What did Chris say? Chris says it's a respect thing. They didn't address or speak to her, but asked her husband to do them a favor. It's a no. Asmodia says, I agree with the lady. Okay. Eli says women are way more territorial than men. Y'all are making some points. See? I knew it. Now, Moggs makes a point here. Why does she have to come to the internet about it all? She's insecure AF. This is true. I don't know why she felt the need to tell TikTok about it, or wherever she posted this at. But again, man, it's just like it feels like just the natural order of things. Like to our society, right? Society has made it so this woman looks insecure, seems insecure, right? Like we're all humans. We are the most intelligent life form on planet Earth, right? We understand. We have nuance to the way that we live lives. We're not animals, right? Like you can help out a sister who can't reach the top shelf in the grocery store if you're a man and your wife is right next to you. It's no big deal. The world's not going to end. Your husband's not going to then, you know, be giving her 40% of his paycheck from there on out. That's not how it works. Just grabbing a can of corn off the top shelf. Relax, right? That's what society tells us. But biology tells us something a little bit different. It's like, no, this is my mate. My mate gets resources for me, not anyone else. So kick rocks. And Chris is saying it's a respect thing. Like, it would have been cool, right, if she would have went and acknowledged her first. And I didn't even let this young lady finish talking. Let's go ahead and finish this.
So I say that to say this. If you are in the store, married or single, by yourself, and you need help, and you notice that the man that you about to ask help from is with a woman, the correct thing to say is, excuse me, ma'am, is it okay if your husband can help me get something from the shelf? Don't put that man in that weird situation, because my husband's like, he didn't flinch, he didn't move, he looked at me, and he like, boo. And we both knew what that boo meant. So, but have a good day.
So she basically just said what Chris said. Eli says, like the video, y'all. Yes, sir. Please like the video. Helps me out a ton here on Sutton Reactions. I'd appreciate that. Interesting. You have to be respectful of your spouse. Mog says, so we closing doors on other women walking in behind us, no? That's a good point. I can see where it could be a little bit different, but that's still a good point. I don't know, man. This is tough. I'm glad I brought this up to you guys. You guys are really pulling me back and forth on this one. Chris says, just like she wouldn't fix a plate for another man without asking her husband for permission. Now, that's for damn sure. You better not fix no damn plate for no other man. I know that much. Shit, me. So from that perspective, I get it. I'm basically saying I get it. I side with the woman here, even though it does feel like slavery. Even though it does feel like I gotta ask my wife permission to just help another human being with something that quick. It feels like the old ball and chain. You know what I mean? But I get it. I have to understand. At the end of the day, I understand it. I get it. Is she his wife or his manager? Fixing a plate and grabbing a can is not close. I just think it's the gesture. Stretch says, I could see if they were being flirtatious about it, but it's really not that deep. And yeah, because I guess it would also, because I think about it, it must have been like a young woman who asked, right? It must have been a young woman, maybe attractive woman, maybe a woman that she found as a threat. Because I would assume if it was like some old lady, right, who was walking around, with a cane, or maybe she was riding around in one of those wheelchairs or something like that. I won't even say that. She was just walking around, old lady, and needed to read something off the top shelf. Then would it be a problem? Would she still need to ask the wife first? If it was an old lady, would the old lady still have to ask the wife? So one of those things, man. It's one of those things. I really don't know where to land on it, so to say. That's why I brought it to you guys. It's a great convo. It's very subjective. Chris says, yeah, even if it was an old lady. And I'm talking like, you feel me, like mid-70s. She doesn't have to ask, just acknowledge. Hmm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. And y'all be nice in the chat. Y'all be nice in the chat. The woman asked him because he was with another woman. She wouldn't ask him if he was there alone. You think so? You think so, Eli? You think so? Because if that was the case, then that means she was doing it with malicious intent then. But I don't think I would assume that, though. I don't think I would assume that. Interesting stuff, though. Interesting stuff, nonetheless, man. All right. Let's move on. Trying to cruise through life and relax. I can't with y'all, man. I cannot with y'all. All right. Let's take a look at this video. Guy pulls up in a McDonald's drive-thru and is looking for something that's not on the menu.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, please.
I'm doing a video.
I'm gonna need, sir.
By the way, those glasses are diabolical.
Why was the reasoning why you won't give me a pup cup?
We're not allowed to do pup cups.
Yes, you are. I come here 2-3 times a week, every week, and get a pup cup. Every time I come here.
We're not supposed to do pup cups. If they're doing it, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Do you not understand? It's just a little cup of whipped cream.
So I need you to leave, please.
Why won't you give me a pup cup?
Because we do not do pup cups at this establishment.
Bullshit. Came here yesterday and got a pup cup.
Somebody hand me the phone, please. Call the police.
So now she's calling the cops on him?
She's calling the police because I want a pup cup? Let's see what the police have to say because a person wants a pup cup? Seriously, you're calling the police because someone wants a pup cup. That's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. Cassopolis, Michigan.
This dude is weird, though. This dude is hella weird. I mean, like, why are you doing all of this over a pup cup? Checks notes, a pup cup. Like, if they don't sell pup cups, just pull off and go somewhere where they sell pup cups. Why make it such a big thing? I mean, yeah, you're holding up the damn line.
No, that's absolutely ridiculous. All you have to do is put some goddamn whipped cream in a and so that my.
And if they're saying they don't do it, just get the hell on and go somewhere else. There's Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, so many other places that do shit for dogs.
Dog can have a pup cup, and I was paying for it. I asked to pay for it. You McDonald's people need to start.
They probably don't even have a button on the register for a side of whipped cream. So what are we talking about?
Like, come on now. It's a freaking pup cup.
Exactly. So, okay.
Arrogant McDonald's manager right there. Right there. Cassopolis, Michigan. I'm going to corporate with this. McDonald's doesn't support dogs, but you...
McDonald's doesn't support dogs? I want to punch this dude in the face so bad.
Want me to round up to support the freaking kids every time I come here? It's a little bit of whipped cream in a cup, and I'm paying for it. It's a pup cup. Quit being so stubborn. Just give me a freaking pup cup. This could all be averted with a little bit of whipped cream in a cup for my dog.
Oh, man, the nerve of some people, dog. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. The entitlement, like you guys are saying in the chat, man. The entitlement. I can't. Hold on 1 second.
This is why America's going to people like you. We don't do pup cups. I come here 2-3 times a week and get a pup cup. Tell me I can't get a pup cup. Wait till you lose your job when I send this to corporate. I'm waiting until the police get here.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, please.
I'm doing a video.
Crazy stuff, guys. I know. Crazy stuff, guys. Again, these type of people, they need their ass whooped. They need their ass whooped. That's really what it boils down to, guys. They need their ass whooped. All right. Let's take a look at the next video here. What do we got? What do we got? This was one of a gender reveal where the parents kind of acted a little bit weird after the reveal. Let's take a look.
Please bring your receipt. Word number 11.
So you see homeboy is not happy that it's a girl. By the way, kind of creative the way that they did it. I mean, probably not the best gender reveal I've seen, but that's kind of creative, right? So the pins come down and the front pin shows you what the baby is. So obviously it's a girl, everybody goes crazy. And the parents are both bummed out. I guess they were both team boy. By the way, how do y'all feel about the whole team boy versus team girl thing when it comes to gender reveals? Because I think it's fun. How about that? I think it's fun. But to like take it serious to the point where like when you actually do find out the gender and it's not the team that you picked, the gender that you picked, and you're upset about it, like visibly upset about it, that's where it gets weird for me. Because again, it's a fun little baby shower game. You know, are you team boy? Are you team girl? Whatever, right? And normally, well, not normally. I can't say that because some people want girls, some people want boys, either man or woman. But it's just weird to me. I think I saw Ashley in the chat. Ashley said, what'd she say? I hate when people record videos like this. Be happy with your blessing. No, yeah, I mean, I agree. 100% agree. 1000% agree. You should be blessed to have a child at all. But to each their own. Not my fam or child unless the color was wrong or something. I'd be ecstatic as long as it's healthy. That's what I'm saying, man. It's just, again, it's almost like people use their children for their own personal, like, satisfaction agenda. And it's like, boy or girl, because what it gives here is that, okay, since it was a girl, you're going to love this baby less. And I think that's nasty. It's a nasty thing to even hint at, right? When you're about to have a child. Like, I would be embarrassed if somebody got me on camera reacting negatively to the gender of my newborn child or my unborn child. It's embarrassing. And I know people who have had, you know, girls like maybe 2-3 girls or 2-3 boys, and they keep trying. They just want that one boy or that one girl, and they're genuinely disappointed when they don't get it. And it's like, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, big dog. But you don't need to embarrass yourself, and then subsequently the child, because the child's probably going to see this video at some point. This video may resurface with the way that the internet works these days. This video could very well resurface, and that child, when they are 7-8 years old, right, when they actually are cognizant to things, and they see this, they're going to feel unwanted. Oh, mom and dad really wanted a boy, but I ended up being a girl. So I feel like they have their reservations about me. It's nasty. It's nasty. Let me see. I could be wrong, but if you were going to your appointments, wouldn't you already know the gender? So some people will have like a family member or somebody close collect the results of these appointments themselves and hide them purposely from the parents, so that way it can truly be a surprise on the day of the gender reveal. So somebody in the building already knew, right, and kind of put this together for them. A lot of people do that. Me personally, I want to know as soon as the appointment is had, right? I don't need the big reveal, the big party. I don't want to, either way, I'm ecstatic. It don't make me no difference. And I don't have kids yet, but I know when I do, it's not going to make me no difference whether or not it's a boy or a girl. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. And that's how I'm going to look at it. Asmodia says, growing up in an Asian family, there's a preference toward boys. I hate how unloved the women in my life felt growing up. And I'd be curious to know, like, which part of Asia that your family is from, to where that's the thing. Or I guess, is that like across Asia, Because I know, I want to say it's a big thing in China. I could be wrong, though. Could be wrong. Let me know, Asmodeus. But yeah, again, guys, it's just nasty. It's just nasty. I hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it. And he says it's across Asia. But no, I mean, that's sad that there is like a preference that some people have, and like they will literally mistreat, the child as they're growing up just because it wasn't the gender that was preferred. Disgusting. Disgusting. But all right, let's move on, guys. We got a couple more things to get into here on this episode, this juicy episode of Sutton Reactions. If you have been enjoying the content, again, please like the video. Subscribe if you are new. Again, my name is Sutton Reactions. Not my name. My name is Sutton, and you are watching Sutton Reactions. Let's take a look at this video here.
An Oregon man was convicted and sent to jail for collecting and using rainwater on his own property, sued by the state for theft. Rancher Gary Harrington built 3 large reservoirs on his own land to collect rainwater and snow melt. He claimed the water was primarily for fire protection reserves and for providing water to wildlife. But the state called it theft and prosecuted Gary. A municipal code stipulates that all water within city limits, including precipitation, is part of the public water supply. The city requested.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Now, the law is like, it makes sense, but it doesn't. This is mad smart. This is mad smart right here. I mean, this guy is literally harnessing rainwater, filtering it, and using it for his own. That's mad smart. You're literally just taking God's gift, God's natural gift from the sky, water from the sky, and storing it and reusing it. I mean, is that not genius? It is genius. Problem is, it's a little bit too genius. Now, the law saying that all of the water is property of, the city or the state or whatever for the water system, that also makes a bit of sense because, a lot of these, the water systems rely on rainwater to keep them going. But still, I don't think that laws like this should exist. If you have the capacity to turn rainwater into clean, drinkable, bathable water for yourself, then by all means.
The city requested the court order the removal of his collection system and impose a fine. Despite Harrington's repeated appeals, arguing, "The water fell on my land. I'm not selling it. I'm simply using it on my own property."
And see, it's not even like, yeah, exactly. It's not even like he's repackaging it and selling it for profit. He's literally using it just for his own land, right? But government has to nip stuff like this in the bud, because if one person can do it, that means everybody can do it. And somebody can start a business rigging up houses like this to be able to do this. And all of a sudden, you're off the grid when it comes to water, and they don't want that.
Court ultimately rejected his claims. Harrington was found guilty on multiple charges, including unlawful appropriation of state water resources. He was sentenced to 30 days in jail and fined over $1,500. The incident sparked intense backlash. Residents said it was simply tyranny. If a person cannot own the rain that falls on their own land, what do they actually own?
See, that's the thing. I don't think the government wants us to own anything, to be honest with you. But this is genius, though. Genius, innovative. I mean, hell yeah. Chris M says in the chat, she says, let me see, now when his home gets damaged from the rain, he better sue the city to have it repaired since they own the water from the sky. Now you talking. Now you talking. Let my roof get a little bit moldy. I'm suing the hell out of the state. Yep. Now we talking, Chris. But no, yeah. I mean, again, this is a genius invention. This guy deserves, honestly, an award for this. But since it flies in the face of, government control, then they got to shut it down. But it sparks an interesting debate. Like, if we don't own the water from the sky, like if we can't use, again, God's natural gift, then what do we really own? And furthermore, is the government placing themselves above God? Because that's an even bigger problem. When you're trying to police honestly, if I'm being dead ass honest with you, water should be 1,000% free. 1,000. You should not have to pay for water. I don't care. You should not have to pay for running water. You shouldn't have to pay for drinking water. None of it. When 70% of this planet is water, if you spin the globe a certain way and you look at it from a certain angle, you'll see majority water. You won't see a whole lot of Africa. You won't see any of the United States hardly. You won't see China, Russia, the rest of Asia. You won't see any of that. It's going to be all water. And again, it rains. We get more from the sky. You cannot tell me there's not a way to make water free. Because what's next? Is air, is oxygen not going to be free? Are we going to get to a point where you have to pay money for all of the natural human necessities in life? I mean, we're already 99% there. Only thing we're missing is things like oxygen. I mean, I can see a Black Mirror episode where, and again, this hasn't happened, but I can see an episode of Black Mirror where, sometime in a dystopian society in the future, something like that, when you walk outside, you got to make sure you're wearing your Oxygen Plus mask or something like that you got to pay a monthly subscription for in order to walk outside and breathe. That's where we're headed. Maybe not in any of our lifetimes. Maybe not in any of our lifetimes right now watching this video. But eventually, with the amount of control, especially with the way that the country is being ran right now, you never know. The sky is the limit when it comes to the possibilities of what the government has next up their sleeve. Tricky stuff, crazy stuff. Again, what do we own? If we don't own the water that falls from the damn sky, what do we own? '86 Ghost says, devil's advocate, how much of that water is drinkable? Hey, man, all the filters, all the machine technology, the reverse osmosis process, all that stuff, get it popping. Get it popping. Make it drinkable. Make it consumable. Yeah. Void says, so sweat, piss, and spit are city property now. We are mostly water. So what are we? Owned by the government. And that's the point. That's the point. Famous quote, you will own nothing and be happy. It's from the government. Crazy stuff. Void says 3% of the water is fresh water and not much of it is accessible. Or you're talking about the ocean water? I don't know, man. I just think, again, with modern technology, I really can't find an excuse. Like, if we can go to the freaking moon, which I heard apparently we're supposed to be doing again soon, I'll have to look into that. But if we can accomplish feats like that, I'm pretty sure we can find a way to make some of this water accessible, more accessible and consumable. Chris M says we're definitely owned. That's why we have a social security number. Agreed. It's kind of the damning evidence right there, right? We're all a number. Everybody's a number. It's sad. Let's move on, guys. We're almost 2 hours into this episode. I think I've got I think I got one more for you guys. Yeah, I've got one more for you guys before we get out of here on this episode of the show. Again, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. We'd appreciate that. Here's what I want to know. Have you guys been on a college campus recently? Have you guys been on a college campus recently? Personally, I have not, depending on what you call recent. But what I do know is that they are a political battlegrounds now. It's a political battleground in college, especially PWI's predominantly white institutions. And a lot of the students exist just to go back and forth with each other on their political preferences and ideologies. And in this video that I'm about to show you, this was at, I believe, Arizona State University, where there were a couple of young white men sitting in the multicultural room in the university, which I guess is a room where people from a bunch of different diverse cultures come in and they congregate or whatever. And the kid was sitting in there, the white kid was sitting in there with his friends doing work on his laptop that said "Police Lives Matter" on the back of it. And somebody came in and took issue with that. One of the students came in and took issue with that. So let's take a listen.
Offensive. Police lives matter?
You have the same sticker. We're just trying to do school.
What?
You guys have the same sticker the other.
But this is our space.
We've got a Police Lives Matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school. You just said we have to leave.
No, I said you're making the space uncomfortable.
So, okay, couple things already. Like I said, these white kids here are sitting in the multicultural room in the university, which again is supposed to be meant for, people of all diverse backgrounds and stuff like that to come in and congregate, meet each other, whatever. And they're sitting down, minding their business, doing work on their laptops. And I guess I don't know if they're black people. I don't really know who's behind the camera. But they came in and started harassing these dudes and bothering them, telling them that, hey, you're making this space uncomfortable. And I feel like the only let me say this. The only thing that I agree with the person behind the camera with is I think that these kids are rage baiting. These white kids are rage baiting. If you notice, the kid right here in the still frame is wearing a shirt that says "Did not vote for Biden," a very politically strong, shirt that he's got on right here. He's giving a strong stance right there, and he's letting everybody know about it. You go back and you see the Police Lives Matter on the back of the other kids laptop.
But you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
White's not a culture?
No. No, it's not a culture. It's white is not a culture. Say it again to the camera. You think whiteness is a culture?
This is insane.
So anyway, this is the
And so see, now he's recording. He's recording back.
violence that ASU does, and this is the type of people that they protect. Okay, this white man thinks he can take up our space, and this is why we need a multicultural space, because they think they can.
See, you got the Police Lives Matter thing on the back of his, which is, again, you're taking another political stance with that. I mean, don't care what you say, whether you say Police Lives Matter, whether you say Black Lives Matter, because of the nature of what these movements mean inherently, it is taking sort of a political stance. Now, Black Lives Matter is an organization, you know, it's more than just a movement. It's an organization who has apparently embezzled a lot of money, so I don't necessarily support that cause, you know, but Police Lives Matter was made in retaliation to the Black Lives Matter movement. Police Lives Matter, I don't think it's an organization or anything like, it's just a saying in a movement to say you stand with police. Which, again, fine, cool, whatever, but you would be disingenuous in trying to tell me that people coming up with Police Lives Matter was not just combative to Black Lives Matter, which makes it ugly for me. And again, I feel like these kids here are trying to rage bait in this situation. You saw the other kid's shirt. And so for that reason, I get why this girl is like saying, oh, I feel uncomfortable in the multicultural space. However, and I promise I'll let the rest of the video play. I do feel like, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'll let it play first.
Can get away with this shit.
I'm gonna sit here the whole time and you can find somebody to kick me out.
That's cool. We
We're
will.
not kicking you out. We're asking you to leave if you have any consideration for people of color and our marginalized.
Shit, clearly don't.
That I can go?
Yeah, the whole rest of the campus, the second floor, the first floor, the whole MU, every single part of the campus centers you. This is the only space that you're not centered, and you're still trying to center yourself, which is peak white cis male bullshit.
You're not.
You are racist. Your sticker is racist because police, that's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black.
So it is a black girl.
Okay? No, you can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge, and you're protecting that shit, which means that you're racist.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to offend you guys.
I know, but this offends us automatically because these people kill people like me and like us, right? So you're promoting our murderers. So please just don't do that.
And see, here's where I think the girl is in the wrong. The girl behind the camera. Because while I understand being frustrated by, you know, police brutality, you know, just racism in general in America, I would also contest to her that the solution to all of these problems that keep us so divided, I think is coming together as humans in person. Because online you see a lot of like shit talking from the left to the right and from the right to the left. But in person, I feel like opportunities like this would be the perfect chance for you as a black person to pull up right next to them in this multicultural hall, whatever, sit right next to them, pop open your laptop, and just completely ignore them like they do not exist. That's what I would do. Because it's clear and obvious that they were looking for some sort of satisfaction. You can't tell me that it's a coincidence that they walked up into this room with this Police Lives Matter sticker on the back of the laptop. Other guy's wearing a "I didn't vote for Biden" sweatshirt. You cannot tell me that this was not some sort of form of rage baiting. And all you're doing is giving them the satisfaction by getting in their face and recording them and saying, oh, how uncomfortable this makes me. No, for me, I'm going to show you. They're like, hey, I don't give a shit if you're in here. At the end of the day, we're both students on the same campus. If you want to be ignorant, that's your prerogative. Now, if you say something to me and you try to trigger me and cite some sort of response out of me, okay, yeah, then we can tango. But until then, no, I'm gonna come sit right down next to you. I'm gonna do my work, and that's gonna slowly but surely debunk your stereotypes and your prejudices. And it's gonna show you, hey, maybe we all can just kind of like exist in the same space, right? Maybe we can, you know, not throw insults at each other whenever we see each other. I just think that we need to start breaking down this barrier that we have between us. And everybody plays a part, whether or not you're on the left or whether or not you're on the right. Everybody plays a part in breaking down this wall. And what I'll say is ever since 2016, the first Trump election, the wall only got bigger and it only got higher. It's harder to scale now. We can barely even see each other as humans because the wall is so tall. All we can do is just hear. We can just hear each other. But we're not seeing each other anymore as humans, and that's the problem. I think we need to start breaking down this barrier, all start coming together. You know what I mean? We can have our differences, but until we stop hurling shit at each other, we won't even be able to properly and maturely discuss our differences and then find a way forward. So again, it's on all parties here. Do I think these kids were rage baiting? Yes, I do. Do I think that this girl behind the camera handled it the wrong way? Yes, I do. I don't think there is a rule that states that these kids cannot be sitting in there. And for that reason, what you do in that scenario is you walk up, you pop a squat right next to them, again, crack open your laptop, start doing work like nobody's even there. Just ignore them. Just ignore them. You send so much more of a powerful message when you do that as opposed to when you do this. Because all this is doing is just confirming all of their biases. This is doing nothing but confirming their biases and driving a wedge deeper between us. Again, it's different if they came at you and tried to disrespect you or tried to rage bait you like verbally and incite some sort of violence or start something. That's different. But if they're just in there doing work, do not give them the time of day. Because all you're doing is feeding into their narrative. All you're doing is confirming their biases. That's just my opinion, though. That's my opinion. Let me see. Oh, you guys going off in the chat. Void says can't be multicultural and exclusive. Yeah, like I said, I don't think that there was any rule stating that this was an exclusive space. And again, for that reason, yeah, are these guys a little bit funny for going in there when they know what that space is normally used for and who normally goes there? Yeah, they are because they know what they're doing. But at the same time, if you're in there and if you're normally in that space and you see those guys in there, I would look at it as a prime opportunity to start breaking down some of the barriers, not to continue spreading hate. Just me though. Just me though. Asmodeus says people will get triggered just hearing you're a liberal or a conservative. As a moderate, I see the shit slinging on both sides. Yeah. Yeah. Stretch says the wall turned more into steel. Yeah, and that's the sad part, man. Cause like not only can we not see each other, we can barely even hear each other anymore. Like everything that one side says is drowned out to the other side's ears. So not only do I see you as a human being who just deserves, some sort of decent treatment as a human, I can barely even hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. Like I hear it, but it's being filtered through this wall. All I'm hearing is you hate my side, you hate my people, End of discussion, full stop. And that's where we're at. And that's why I say college campuses are like political battlegrounds. They're like breeding grounds for, ideological, I guess you could say, just kind of like leanings. But that's why open dialogue needs to happen a lot more often. I remember when I was in college, we had these open dialogue kind of events where it was around the time when like police brutality was like flaring up and stuff like that, and they had like actual cops come in and actual college students come in, and they just kind of talked. There was just like an open panel. It was moderated, and they just talked and hashed out their differences. And by the end of it, you know what happened? You had people shaking hands and hugging that you would have never thought to be shaking hands and hugging. Now, this was before Trump got in office. I'll say that. And things got the tensions rose. But these are some of the conversations we need to be having, though. Hey, why do you feel this way? I'm going to let you talk. Then I'm going to tell you why I feel this way. If we disagree fundamentally, hey, that's fine. But at least we were able to be human. At least we were able to see each other. Everybody sits online nowadays and just hurls shit at each other because there's no consequence to it. It's like it's for sport almost. You ever see how people go back and forth online on like Twitter or, Facebook or Instagram, whatever? And they say the nastiest shit that they would never say in person. I think that politics and the wedge that has recently been driven in, through our society, it has brought out kind of like an animalistic behavior in us to where we are really leaning into conflict with one another. Humans crave conflict, right? Think about in like your media, like your movies and TV shows you consume. Think about if there was a TV show or a movie that had no conflict. It'd be boring, right? And what social media has allowed us to do is get into conflicts, digital conflicts with other people around the world, but with zero consequence. So you get to scratch that itch of having conflict with another human without any real consequence. And when you mix that with now we all have our own political opinions and we can go back and forth with that, again, it just drives a deeper and deeper wedge, which is why it's important for people to have conversations in person. It's important for us to be able to coexist. It's important, man. That's just what I think, though. Twitter spaces be just as bad. Yeah, some of those Twitter spaces can be ugly. Ugly. Let me see. Left wing plus right wing equals different wings of the same bird. I mean, basically, yeah. Normalize safe spaces outside of social media. This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. Normalize safe spaces outside of social media where we can talk to each other. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and leave it there for this episode of Sutton Reactions, guys, as we are over 2 hours in. Didn't even feel like 2 hours. Been having a lot of fun on this episode. If you're just getting in here, make sure you rewind. We had a lot of fun on this one. Talked about a lot of different things. We had some heavy topics. We had some funny topics. We had some fun topics. It was a great time. A really great time. Again, guys, make sure you guys like this video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Of course, we will be back tomorrow in the AM with another episode of Sutton Reactions. And if there's anything specific, and I tell you guys this all the time, if there's anything specific you want me to react to here on the show, I will react to it live and I will shout you out. All you have to do is send a topic, a video, whatever you got, piece of media you got, send it to my social media at Sutton Def on Twitter and Instagram or Instagram. We'd appreciate that. Would appreciate that. Great show. Appreciate it, y'all. Again, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all later today on Quiet Storm Sports. I may or may not have a guest on later today. I got to check with him and see. But again, we will be live later today on Quiet Storm Sports. So make sure you turn on the notification bell if you're watching on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. If you're watching on Sudden Reactions, and you've never been on PRP before, which I know is not a lot of you guys, please make sure you subscribe to the Purple Rain podcast. It's REIGN for Rain, Purple Rain podcast. We talk about Baltimore Ravens and other NFL teams. So, again, love you guys, appreciate you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, test negative. Never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God.